Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back. It's been a little while since I posted a video, and that's because I've been traveling. I was up in Tri-Cities, Washington this past week for a half Ironman triathlon. And so I've had a few days now just to unwind and recover and kind of reflect on the past week. And so that's what I want to share with you guys today is my experience of year two competing on a mostly raw fruit-based diet. And so if you're enjoying this content, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Helps me out a lot. Thank you just for joining me on this journey, and I really hope that you can find something valuable in today's video. So as I was saying, this is my second year of triathlon and my third race at a half Ironman distance on this sort of diet. If you're not familiar with a half Ironman, it is a 1.2 mile swim followed by a 56 mile bike and a 13.1 mile run, a half marathon to finish. And so these things, they're no joke. They're a true test not just of physical endurance, but also of mental endurance. And so I did two of these races last year. If I'm being honest, it was probably a bit much just based on where I was in my health and life journey. I was pretty new to this type of diet. I was definitely early in the transition. I didn't feel great all the time when I was training. My energy was kind of fluctuating. I was having detoxy symptoms. I was also transitioning out of my hockey career, where training was very strength and power based, explosive movements, into the long distance endurance style training. And so it was quite an adjustment, quite a shock to my body. I was able to finish these races, but I was pretty beat up afterwards. After both races, I was very sore, very fatigued for quite a few days afterwards. And so this year, I was just super excited for my race as a way to sort of gauge my progress that I've made or my lack of progress. I really didn't know what to expect or how I would feel come race day, but I thought it was just a great opportunity to see how far I have come and progressed over the course of a year. And so I'm not an elite triathlete by any means. I'm very average. I'm kind of the definition of an average triathlete. I usually finish right around the middle of the pack. And so my goal was not to set any sort of records. More than anything, it was just to prove to myself that this sort of thing can be done on the diet that I'm currently on. Because the conventional wisdom, if you look at the pros or the high level triathletes, and they'll tell you that you need 6, 7, 8,000 calories a day. That you need to put in these crazy training hours and pretty much destroy your body, run it to its limit for the course of months or years on top of years. And it just always seemed very unsustainable to me. Like it was detrimental to long-term health. That it truly, honestly, it didn't seem like a lot of fun to be doing this, to be just killing your body and eating this full-time job. Most of the calories are not even solid calorie. They're liquid gel calories, just pure sugar and energy gels. And so I know when I started this diet, one of my big questions is, could this sort of thing even be done? Was it possible? Could I still be physically active and physically strong and performing at an elite level while eating a plant-based diet without all this protein and starches and grains? And so if this is something you've been through, you've probably gone through similar doubts and questions yourself about if this kind of diet is sustainable or if it promotes athletic performance in any sort of way. And so this is really what I wanted to do, is just to go out there and see, could I perform at this high of a level? Could I put these kinds of demands on my body and still recover and improve and grow stronger over time? And so this was my goal, is just to to really prove to myself that we don't need the things that the conventional dietitians and trainers tell us that we need. If you're familiar with people who have transitioned using people like Arnold Ehret's system, they will tell you that after a while, after they've been in this transition period, that they can perform these remarkable feats of physical endurance, that their performance is 10 times better than what they could do before. And so this started making me very curious as well, as could I keep improving over time, and as I got cleaner and cleaner on the inside, could I continue to up level my performance and reach new heights? And so I'm definitely I haven't arrived, I'm not there yet, I'm still very much in this transition period, but I just love to experiment on myself and to try new things, and to ask questions about what's really possible, what are human beings truly capable of. And so what was my experience? Well, I was very thrilled because pretty much in every aspect that I looked at, my experience was better. I felt better, I performed better, which was in a way something I didn't expect. It kind of surprised me because I trained a lot less this year. My volume was probably between a half and a third of what it was last year. Last year, I followed a very structured and regimented training plan where I had to meet these targets and get a certain amount of workouts done every week. This year I took much more of an intuitive approach. I just listened to my body because this year in particular I felt like I was going through a lot of further detoxes, energetic upgrades, where my body was just, it needed rest. It needed to sort of have that space and that time and the energy to continue healing. And so if there was a day when I was supposed to work out but my body was telling me it needed a rest, I just took the day off. I didn't feel bad about it. I knew that my body would be prepared come race day. That sort of higher guidance, that higher self knew that it needed to prepare me for a late September race. And so I just kind of trusted in that higher wisdom. I let my body lead the way and tell me what it wanted in terms of input and training and food and all that sort of stuff. And so I took a very intuitive approach to my training this year, much less volume, but I actually performed better on race day. I was able to beat my previous times by upwards of 10 and 20 minutes. Which is pretty significant. I finished in less than 6 hours, which was my goal, and so I was super pumped about meeting that goal that I had set. There was a downriver swim this time, which does help the swim time a lot, but just to be able to accomplish this, it felt good, and it was sort of a testament that I'm on the right track at the very least. I was still tired, but the best way I could describe it is I was tired in a different sort of way. Last year, I had to stop a lot on the run to take breaks and walk. I felt a little bit more lightheaded at the finish line. This year, I was able to push all the way through. I knew that I was getting close to the 6 hour mark, and so I just told myself, I'm not going to stop. And so I just kicked in the high gear. I kind of dug deep. My legs were burning a lot. They were on fire, but there was this different sort of strength that was there in my body and in my mind that allowed me to push through. Another sort of minor benefit I noticed, but something that I continue to see, is that my skin I think if you take the whole race day, it was probably 7-8 hours straight in the sun with very little protection. And I had no burning, no redness, no inflammation. Last year, I definitely noticed I was a bit red. It was a bit tender, not super bad burns, but this is a really interesting one that I think should be talked about a little bit more, is that when you clean yourself up on the inside, you don't have those breakouts or inflammatory responses at the skin. And so it's our surface level health is really determined by our deep internal well-being. And so that is something I noticed is I could be out in the sun for very, very long periods of time, and I just seem to get darker and tan much better. I don't burn anymore like I used to. Now, I think the biggest difference that I noticed comparing this year to last year is my post-race soreness and my recovery. As I was saying, last year I was in pretty rough shape. I finished, I wasn't injured or anything, but my body hurt. It was tight, I was sore, I was kind of hobbling and limping around the house for quite some time after I came home after a race. But this year, I hardly noticed any of that. I was very sore the rest of the day. My muscles were tight. It was kind of hard to go up and down stairs. But day two, I noticed a drastic improvement. And day three, I'm on day three post-race now, and I'm pretty much back to normal. There's no significant soreness. I feel for the most part that I could go and work out or put in a training session right now. I probably won't, but I feel like I could, and that's huge. That's a huge improvement over last year. It took me probably over double the time to recover, and so this is a really, really great sign, is that the more clean I get on the inside, the less inflammation, the less soreness and swelling and just all around discomfort I have, because the body can restore itself and repair and regenerate when there are no impediments to our health that are blocking these natural healing processes. And so just overall, to sum up, this entire race experience has been super, super encouraging for me. Just this indicator that I am trending in the right direction, that with another year on this diet, my athletic performance has increased, my ability to recover has improved, and overall I've just become cleaner, clearer on the inside, and up-leveled my health in a lot of ways. And so it was just an affirmation that we don't need all these obsessive, we don't need to obsess over protein and nutrients and taking all these stimulants pre-race in order to perform at a pretty high level. It's more about removing all the obstructions and the filth in the body, and when you do this, the body starts to operate at this entirely different level. And so it's been, I think, especially encouraging, because I know that I haven't been perfect either in this time period. I still have those cravings. I have those days where I give in to the cravings and I maybe eat something I know that I shouldn't, and I'm kind of a perfectionist, and so it's been hard to learn not to feel guilty about that. But what I've seen is that even with these mistakes and slip-ups, we are always moving in the right direction. I think so many of us who are on this journey, whether you're on a similar journey with a raw sort of plant-based or fruit-based, mucus-free diet like myself, or if you're just looking to make more conscious decisions about your diet and your lifestyle, wherever you are is perfect. But I think no matter where we find ourselves, there's always a time when these questions and these doubts start to arise, and we start to feel different. We start to feel the healing symptoms, the detox symptoms, and we will start to ask, am I on the right track? Do I have this all wrong? Why am I not feeling as good as I should feel? Do I need to supplement? Am I accumulating deficiencies? And so all these questions start to come to mind, all these reasons to quit and go back to our old ways. But the message that I really want to get through to you is that the body only moves in one direction. It only moves towards higher and greater levels of health. The body only heals, and if there is really something that it needs, it will get this message to you. It will let you know. But otherwise, just keep riding the ups and downs of this healing journey, and continue to process and reflect on everything you learn throughout the process, because this is really where the value is when you come up against those challenges or those doubts, and you have those moments where every part of you wants to quit, and you push through and you have this big breakthrough. And so as long as you are acting in alignment with your goals, the majority of the time your body's ability to heal will far outweigh any slip-ups you might have. And so I think this is just so important for us to know, is the body only trends upwards. We don't need to be perfect. It's not about striving for perfection. It's just about the progress. And after a while, you'll notice these inner shifts within yourself that you don't even crave, you don't even want the things that you used to, because you're becoming so upgraded and so much cleaner on the inside. And these desires and impulses they'll start to change naturally as time moves on. But it is a process. It does take time. The results will not be instantaneous. And so just continue moving forward wherever you find yourself. And so there might be some triathletes or athletes or high performers watching this video who are curious about what exactly I did leading up to the race and on race day for nutrition. And so I did want to share a little bit about that. When I arrived into town 2 days before, I loaded up on a bunch of fruit: watermelon, grapes, bananas, dates, pretty much the ripe stuff, the stuff that I didn't need to wait for to ripen and soften up. And I crushed that for the 2 days leading up to the race. I did eat a couple salads during that time. I was there with some really, really good friends, people I hadn't seen for a year. And it was just, it was important to me to be able to share a meal and enjoy their company. And so we went out to dinner a couple times. And so I ordered just a salad, some lettuce, some veggies on top, no dressing, anything like that. But I did eat that salad so I could enjoy a meal with them, because it was a priority for me, and that was the choice I made, is to enjoy my time with friends. And so I did do that. It was just fruit and salad leading up to the race. On race morning, I ate about 1.5-2 pounds of grapes, probably an hour before race start. So that was about 5:30 in the morning. I ate those grapes, and then my nutrition for the course was maple syrup. Maple syrup, not a fruit, but if you are a fan of Arnold Ehret's mucusless system, you'll know that it is a mucusless food. It doesn't cause all of the negative effects and the obstructions in the digestive tract like a lot of other sugars and foods can. And so for the bike course, I mixed maple syrup and coconut water in my bottles, and I drank that the entire way for 56 miles. And for the run course, I just used these little single serving packets of organic maple syrup, and every 2 miles or so I just rip one of them open, down it. That was my nutrition. Super simple, super easy. I felt really good. Last year I did dates, which worked, but it was a little bit heavier, I noticed. And the maple syrup, I think, was much cleaner burning, got into the system quick. It was, I would definitely do the maple syrup again over the dates. After the race, I had some watermelon right away, and then I also had some white rice that day. We went to Chipotle before hitting the road to drive back to the house, and so I just got a little bit of white rice with some guac, and then a bunch of lettuce on top. Not a fruitarian or raw or mucus-free meal, but I enjoyed it. Tasted good. yeah, I enjoyed it. Enjoyed a meal with friends and ate it with no regrets, no guilt, no shame. And then I got right back on the train after that. I finished the night with, I think, quite a few bananas. And then the next day was all fruit again. And then by that time, I was already feeling very much recovered. Um, and so here I am, day 3. Most of my soreness is gone. Recovery has been super incredible. Overall, just a super fun, enriching experience to be able to do that with the people that I love and care about and that I don't get to see very often. And so just the fact that everything about my experience and my performance improved after another year on this fruit-based diet is a great sign and super uplifting to me. And so wherever you are, I just want to send you that encouragement to keep moving forward, because even when it feels like we are not progressing, we are always moving to where we need to be. And oftentimes it's in those periods that we feel like we're moving backwards, we're actually making the greatest amount of growth and expansion, because we're pushing past that discomfort and growing into a whole new version of ourselves. And so I just hope this video finds you well. I hope that you can find something helpful in my experience. I want to thank you for watching and thank you for joining me. If you're looking for some further guidance, you can check out the resources down in the description below. Also, if you want to work through this process with me, I do have some one-on-one coaching slots available, so I'll put the link to my website in the description as well. But until next time, I hope you have a great week, and I will be back with you guys again soon. We'll see ya.